this is what I think I'm good at, but most VCs will not understand this. Is 1 or 2 equals 10 or 20. So when you have those 2 customers out of 10, and I talk to them and they'll say they'll spend more, I know you'll get 10 or 20. And those, it's one thing if it was your ex-boss and you left Ford and you set up your own company and you called your old boss at Ford. That I don't give you any credit for that customer. But if you hustled and you went down to Pacific Audi or wherever it was in LA, and you've never even really been to LA, and you got them to buy, you got 2 Pacific Audis, or what was it? Was it Audi or what was it? Pacific BMW. If you got 2 of those, which you literally did through hustle and chutzpah, I know you can get 20. I know. Like I have 100. Great CEO already, I know, got two of these BMWs. I know she can get 20. I don't know yet whether the market size and all of it works out. That's why I have a question mark. But I already skipped the step. We talked about skipping the steps. I already know she can get this. I'm not sure about this. This is my diligence process. But a lot of investors will view this as an anomaly. They won't give you any credit for having just 2. I think as an ex-founder, I know the difference, but you may have to convince people more that these aren't anomalies. Segment your customers, talk about them, and talk about the pipeline. And for me, another huge thing I like, having been a founder, is do you have any leads at all? Like, how many folks in this room have actual leads coming in each month, like for real, like that you don't even know? Like, that's pretty good. Because there are so many friggin' business products out there. Like, seriously, like, how often do you go home at night looking for new products for Ford? Do you do it every single night? No. I mean, leads are precious. Leads are precious. And I didn't get this as a founder myself. I could do like 100 slides and the 100 mistakes I made as a founder. The biggest one I made is I didn't value my leads enough. But when I hired my real VP of sales, my first VP of sales was a disaster. I raised my Series A. I hired the logo guy from Salesforce, 6'4" paratrooper, super strapping and handsome, talked in a deep voice. Really was good with dashboards and selling up. My board loved him. And he spent every nickel and just that I raised, and he did worse than I did alone. Me plus 2 reps, him and 10 sold less. Okay, so that was terrible. I didn't know what to make of it. And then I'd spent all the money, and then there was this little recession coming on, like in 08, 09. I don't know if you remember. Like, things seemed kind of grim. And I hired my second VP of sales from one of my customers, LinkedIn. This guy, Brendan Cassidy, who had been the first head of sales at LinkedIn. And I said, Brendan, I love you like a brother. Like, we're together in this through thick and thin. I just got to tell you one thing. If you don't double sales in about 90 days, here's the math. And in Excel, we're going bankrupt. Like, there's no more venture capital. And so the only way I can get this sheet to work is if we double sales in 90 days. And he did it in 60. And the magic was we had leads. He said, this is the easiest job I've ever had. I came into LinkedIn. I had no leads. Like, Reed hired me. I had no leads. He did all the other jobs. You have leads. And so we could ramp that forward in time. But when I invested this stage, I'm like, do you have any leads at all? And I do a little discovery. Why? And this is faux quantitative. But if you're getting like 20 or 30 good leads a month, and your product's at least in the low 5 figures, 10K or 20K, and they're real leads. I'm not talking about contacts. I'm not talking about folks that drove by, but real leads. And let's say you can't close any of one, you can only close 1 out of the 30. That's great. I'll help you close 2 or 3. If I can help you close 3 instead of 1, and I can help you double your pricing, like, we've just 6x'd your revenue stream right there. So I love, if I can see even 20 good leads a month at the stage you're at, then I kind of get really, really excited alone. Then outbound, like, can you really get into the BMW dealer? Like, why would this mid-level manager at wherever take the meeting? Like, there's a story behind a story here, because no one wants to take another friggin' meeting, right? There are exceptions, but no one really wants. So why is this working, right? And maybe that 2 is 200, because the story behind the story could be interesting. So that's an interesting story from today. And then just 2 other things, if it's helpful. And I'm quirky. But one great thing is if they're not all technology companies. This is a little joke for the insularity of YC, right? Because you can launch out a YC with 130 folks in your class and have 100 companies that are all like just from yourself. It's a strange beast, and it's not all a bad thing. I mean, sometimes it is good. But that's the most. It's not just all in tech. This is like all my class of 180. Like this is the most. This is the if it's early and you have some anomalous customers that aren't in tech, that or at least that aren't on the West and East Coast, that's super interesting to me. Like, why did this boring company from wherever, from the Four Corners or somewhere, find your little app? And there's no reason that they should trust anyone in this room. Why should I trust you with my data? Why should I trust you with my business processes? Why should I do anything? And why should I take a risk on a new vendor? To me, these customers are like 5 times, 10 times more valuable than just tech, and like 50 times more valuable than this insularity of purchase.
Let me tell you about one of my favorite services in the world. It's called Squarespace. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I used to have to go hire a consultant to build a website, and it took months, and it cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And then when I needed a new feature or I opened it up on my iPhone, it looked terrible. And my whole life revolved around trying to make a beautiful website and had to spend literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars doing that. And then I found out about Squarespace. And if you want to create a beautiful landing page, website, or online store, you can do it on Squarespace for literally just dollars a month. I can't believe how affordable it is. And it's state-of-the-art tech, secure, stable, trusted by millions of people. Some of the most respected brands in the world use it, and I use it for every site. Why? It's beautiful, responsive, and they keep adding features. This is one of the great things about the software as a service movement that you've heard me talk about on our show. They are sitting there with, all of these customers, Squarespace, and then they say, oh, customers, what else do you want? And because they have so many customers, they can build feature after feature, but not raise the price. So it's like you're buying the service. It's like if you bought a car and they just kept adding features to it. Every day you got in your car, there's a new feature. That's what it feels like using Squarespace to me. You can go start a free trial right now. No credit card is required. You can get a free domain if you sign up for a year. So that's a great deal. And when you decide to sign up for Squarespace, use the offer code TWIST, T-W-I-S-T, and you get 10% off your first purchase. I know that many of you don't need to get 10% off your first purchase. You're rich, you're baller, you're expensing this. But please, use the promo code TWIST so they know that you're a super fan of the show. And go ahead, if you really are a super fan of the show, thank @Squarespace on Twitter for making independent media like This Week in Startups possible. It's just a great product. It's a great service. And all of my team knows how to use it. And we can pop up websites all the time for the Launch Incubator, for the Launch Festival, for the Scale Conference. Everything we do, I just pop up a new website, and it looks beautiful. And then I said to my team, hey, can we put a video? I saw somebody put a video in the background of their website. And I thought, that's incredible. You go to a website and it's playing a video in the background? Gorgeous. I want that. And they're like, oh, Squarespace does that. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? They're like, well, we didn't know because they keep adding so many damn features to this product. I said, great. Put on the Launch Angel Summit a picture of Napa. So they bought some stock footage for $50 and the website looks dynamite. For $50 in stock photos or stock video, we put this gorgeous video up. Amazing. And it keeps happening to me. I just love Squarespace. Thank you so much for sponsoring This Week in Startups. I really appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys and gals have been building this great product for so many years and supporting my podcast for so many years. Thank you, Squarespace. Okay, let's get back to this amazing program.